Now, there's no doubt that Mineplex has seen a severe decrease in the amount of players that it used to host back in 2015 and 2016, but regardless, according to some random wiki page I found online, Mineplex Survival Games has been around since November of 2013, which means it's been around for over 7 years. So for me to try and accomplish and to beat this world record is going to be extremely difficult. If we just go onto speedrun.com and look at the world records, I'm sure we're going to see countless of... Oh, there's only 2 submissions. Oh, I can do this for a video. Oh, nice. So I think it's become a bit trite, and if you don't know what trite means, that basically means it's cliche. To do the dream thing of where you post what proportion of your viewers are subscribed, but literally 3% of you guys are subscribed, and that's it. 3%. Do you know how exclusive you would be if you subscribed then? So if this isn't the first video you've seen from my channel, you've probably noticed that I haven't posted in a few months. I've actually barely played Minecraft in the past few months, and in fact in the past month, I haven't played at all. So I decided I want to find something to improve my chances of winning so I don't have to rely on my PvP skills and all those other stuff, because I definitely won't have those. I barely had any of those to begin with. So I wanted to be strategical about this. Now, I actually decided to record this at 1 a.m. I know that sounds weird, but as you can probably figure out, Mineplex gets fewer people on at 1 a.m. And you only need 16 players to start a game, so the closer you could get to that 16 mark, the better the chance you would have of, finishing in a faster time, and also you have a better chance of winning. So I got into my first game, and I basically decided, the more people I could kill at the beginning, the fewer people there would be later. And obviously the point is to eliminate everyone as fast as possible. So that's exactly what I did. I managed to get a kill, and then I got 2 more. And before I had realized, I had gotten 5 kills in under 2 minutes. And I was already on a pretty fast pace on my first game. However, that's when I realized that at 1 a.m. my judgment calls aren't exactly the best. As you can see, I go towards a person who has, a dog, better gear, and he clearly can PvP better than me, and I'm like, no, I got it. I didn't get it, but, all in all, I thought the first game went pretty well, and I was pretty confident for the rest of the challenge. My second game went a little worse. I managed to get a kill, but I then got ambushed by some second guy, and I did actually manage to juke him, which I was pretty proud of, but, then he just chased me down and killed me, so, that's... Anywho. Third game was a mess, but I did find an interesting way of temporarily saving yourself when someone's using Jesus hacks and clearly doesn't know how to turn it off. After a couple uneventful rounds, we get to this game right here, which is pretty interesting, and I'll show you why in a second. I got a couple kills, nothing too insane. I think I got 3 kills, and I end up chasing this one guy, and the one guy was actually the same guy who killed me in round 2. This is where it gets interesting. I chase him down, and my hopes for sort of being able to beat the record are slimming down just because of all the time I'm wasting. And I chase him into the trees, and you can actually see right here, he jumps off, and he proceeds to escape. He lands somehow on the ground, and he runs away. I jump off, I managed to not mess up doing a basic sort of dropper jump. I land in the water, and then I'm confused. I'm like, what the heck did he do? How is he still on land? I'm so confused. And so I tried to figure this out on my own. If you look at the footage at 0.25 speed, you can actually see he lands on the stairs. I was confused as to what happened, how exactly, he survived, because this is someone who's a level 100 who has thousands of wins in survival games, and it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't think he was hacking. I didn't think he was using no-fault. Generally, when you see someone hacking at such a high level, they're generally more discreet. Not always, but it just seemed unusual for him in some random survival games just to casually be using some hacks. So I went ahead and I contacted one of my friends who was a former Cube team member, and he basically thought it was this Cake Wars glitch, which, I've only seen in Cake Wars, but he was like, no, you can probably just use this in survival games. And it's a really cool glitch. Now, if you don't know about this, some staff don't even know about it, so I think it's a really interesting glitch. Basically, if you're going snowballer kit or you have some sort of projectile, you can hit yourself on the way down, and it can reduce or completely negate any fall damage. You can see I test this out in a Cake Wars map of my own, and I managed to reduce it to 0.5 damage in one game, and then in another game I managed to just completely reduce any fall damage. I didn't take any fall damage, which is completely insane. I think this is really interesting. Now, obviously, one thing to note is this is still a glitch. It's still something that you can get banned for on Mineplex, so probably shouldn't do this. I don't recommend you doing this. You should not do this in a normal Mineplex game, but if you're in a private MPS, then it's generally considered okay. You won't get banned for testing this out in a private MPS, and I think it's a really interesting feature. Given all the lack of development Mineplex has had recently, I think this is an interesting glitch. So Anywho. It's the second day. It was getting so late, so I got sleepy, went to bed, and I almost forgot to start recording the second day. But just in the nick of time, I turn on OBS. Aztec Islands. I'm sort of familiar with this map, and immediately, we have a great start. I get a stone sword, iron helmet, and an iron chestplate. I chase down this one dude, and I killed him. Next, I find an enchantment table, where I can get an enchanted stone sword, and I already know we're doing incredibly well. I ran into a pole, dropped a bow. Okay, we don't have to show these clips. Okay, this is more like it. This dude came at me, and I destroyed him flawlessly. In fact, I still had basically 10 hearts remaining at the end of the battle. 2 people are remaining, and I have 2 minutes to get the win. I chased down the first one, and despite his PvP skills, I just barely managed to defeat him. I spot a supply drop, rush over it, and get myself a diamond sword in 60 seconds to get the record. Using my compass, I locate the last player at the top of the cliff and pull him down. He runs, but using my parkour skills, I flawlessly... Okay, I run into a vine. There we go. We got the kill and got the win in just over 5 minutes. Enough for the record, making me the fastest survival games player of all time. Yeah, in all seriousness, you could beat this record in like a day, give or take, but it made for a decent YouTube video, so we take this.